Amputee Adele's 4th Ampuversary. Oh yeah, everybody. I should have brought a drink or something with me, like anything, but didn't really think about that because I was running late, as I usually am, because that's the way Amputee Adele rolls. Medical dramas, but we're not going to get into that because we're not there to talk about that type of drama today. We're here to celebrate 4 years of my amputated leg. 4 years today. I had my leg amputated thanks to a wonderful surgeon, and my life could continue and I could start skateboarding again. So yeah, it's a pretty epic life change I went through. And I did do a live stream last year for the 3rd Ampuversary, and I did talk a little bit about the story of that, because like obviously there's a bit of a backstory to it all. But yeah, just to give it a really quick, short timeline in case you haven't caught that or you've wondered how I became this way. Just getting nice and comfortable. That's a bit weird, but anyhow. So yeah, what happened was I had bunion surgery on my right foot, my right leg, which is obviously the one that's no longer there. And what happened was, following the surgery, I developed a condition called complex regional pain syndrome, CRPS for short, or also known as reflex sympathetic dystrophy, RSD. But anyway, and it progressed very quickly. It got very bad very quickly. Basically, after that surgery, which funny enough, 12 years ago, I was not celebrating at all. 12 years ago was when I first became disabled, and the anniversary of that was like the other day, because my surgery was on the 21st of October. And yeah, so it was kind of weird really, but yeah. So here we are, the 27th of November 2023. 3 years since I started skateboarding with crutches. 4 years since I started skateboarding again, since over 10 years out, not on the skateboard. But yeah, so I had this bunion surgery. I got CRPS. It all developed, all went pretty bad. I had a spinal cord stimulator fitted for it. That didn't really help. Tried every medication known to man. Got extremely miserable in the process. But then yeah, like I knew from like quite early on that I wanted the amputation, because I knew the amputation would like benefit me in the sense that my leg was stuck in this horrible position. So if I was sitting like this, it was like stuck in front of me like that in this position, and it was always bent like that, and I couldn't move my leg much at all. My foot was like all like something flat like that, a bit of an arch. It was all like scrunched up, so it was incredibly painful, like 24/7. So yeah, what happened was I managed to find a wonderful surgeon who eventually, when he decided my condition wasn't going to get any better, but you know, it did take me quite a bit of time to find a surgeon who was willing to undertake it due to the risk with this type of pain condition. The problem is that what can happen is that the condition gets worse, and then you end up with like worse situation than you did before. However, since then they have actually found out now that it's actually quite beneficial for a lot of people, if it's done in the right way and you get the right pain relief and all that kind of stuff. And the key to preventing bad phantom pain, so bad phantom pain is something everyone's going to get anyway, probably to some extent or another, especially if you're in pain prior to your amputation, so the nerves remember and stuff. But yeah, like so at the moment mine are like screaming at me, because yesterday I went to a place called Jump In, which was sick. It's like one of those like giant indoor trampolining places, so it was like my first time trampolining ever, because I've never been on trampoline because we didn't have them when I was in school, because I went to a rubbish school. And yeah, and my first time, because I haven't been since obviously those places didn't exist when I was young. There were loads of kids, a couple of adults here and there, but I had an absolute way all the time, jumping around, jump up, and get down. Sorry, I've got bad itches. My nerve itches are really kicking off at the moment. Oh my goodness, we've got one person in. Hello. Ow, I'm sorry, you're just watching me dislocating my shoulder. I do more than just dislocating my shoulder on live stream, I swear. But yeah, the person's decided that my shoulder is not worth watching. But anyway, so yeah, that's an unfortunate update, which I will just tell you about really quickly because it's in my brain and my mind, and that is unfortunately my shoulder injury is back with a vengeance. And yeah, I'm really struggling, so I'm like trying to use my prosthetic to give me relief from the wheelchair, to give me a bit of pain relief and like rest for the shoulder. But then I can only wear the leg for so long, like a couple of hours maybe. and then eventually it just gets too painful, or I get rubs and stuff like that. And so yeah, I thought what I'd like to do today for you. I can't remember if I'd actually done this really that before, and I don't think I did, even when I did my first video welcoming my new leg into my life. But yeah, so this is obviously my residual leg here. This is, we're obviously gonna put the leg on in a few minutes, but I thought it'd be fun to show you around my leg, pardon me, and have a little bit of talk about what makes this leg good, bad, whatever, and what level of amputation I've got, because some of you might be curious, because it's not the most common level of amputation. Most black people talk to me and they say, have you got an above or a below knee amputation? I said neither. I've got a through knee amputation. So that is exactly what it sounds like, and that is the amputation through the knee joint. So you've got the thigh bone, so your femur, then like your knee joint, your kneecap, and then you've got the lower legs, a lower shin bone, so like your tibia and your fibula. And basically they separate the knee up. They separate it, they just cut like straight through the middle. So I've still got the full length of my femur. So unlike a below knee amputee, unfortunately I do need a prosthetic, what's called a knee. And ow, really having trouble with the shoulder. I should put that down. This is my knee. So it is one of the most basic, what I believe to be the most basic forms of a prosthetic knee that you can get. It's purely mechanical, so, and it's driven by me, the user. There's no fancy electronics or wizardry, gadgetry specifically in this, although it does have a pretty cool mechanism. I think you've got to agree. Bring it close to the camera for you. So I do apologise, I'm really struggling with my shoulder at the moment. So let's take you for a tour around the leg. So the most obvious bit to start with is the socket. This is the bit you put your leg in. And yeah, obviously this one, as you can see, goes quite high up. So that's like where my stump would be, somewhere down there. And then that is exactly where it looks like, which is basically, if that was on my leg now, that'd be on the inside of my leg. That goes on the outside of the hip there. And that bit comes around the back, and that is yeah, that can be quite painful, especially when you get skate tricks wrong. If you do a trick and you fall over, especially when you've got like a slippy like lining sock on, I'll explain about that in a second, the leg can like slip around, and it does, but yeah, you can slip and it slides, and the female anatomy is quite an uncomfortable place to land with that. Good news is on the 4th of December, so very, very soon, I'm going to be getting a new, they're casting my socket again. This is the NHS, so I do have to wait a little bit of time. I can't afford private healthcare, sadly, but there we go. But I'm fortunate to have healthcare at all, so that is a good thing. But what they do, oh, we've got 2 people in here now. Hello, everybody. So yeah, I've completely forgotten what I'm talking about now. This is what I'm like. The residual limb, so here we are. What happens is we've got the socket here that goes in there. We've got like a liner that goes over that as well. Different things for different people. This is what I happen to use. Again, this is only what's been provided by me, but yeah, once this is recast, it will be lower down, so it will have a little bit like more of a cut, so there's room for my leg to move and think more freely. The disadvantage of that is, because at the moment it's nice and high, so that when your sitting bone, that rests right on top of that, so it saves a lot of the weight going right down through the end, because the scar goes right, I can't see because I've got my stump sock on, but the scar goes like right across at the bottom. It's like sewn it literally like how they sew a sock, almost like how they sew my stump sock. So what happens is, yeah, they sew that right across the bottom there, so the stitches, like where the stitches were in the scar tissue, all the nerve endings are like super gnarly and horrible, and I get really horrible nerve pain, phantom pain, stump sensitivity and such alike. So that's why I can't wear my leg like all the time, like every day or anything like that. My my wheelchair is a permanent feature of my life, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm totally okay with that. I'm working out that balance for what's good for me. What's the best way to get through my life, you know, using my leg for the things that the leg is good for, using my wheelchair for the things that my wheelchair is good for, and yeah, working out that balance, which has been a tricky challenge, but I am getting there. I'm proud to report we're actually at 8 months since I actually got my prosthetic leg to take home with me. This time last year I was busy waiting for my first casting, so when they were casting this for the first time, which was like super crazy, And all I had was like, you know, a training leg before that, which was like really, really weird. I can't explain. They sort of come on and they're like the different sized like sockets, but they strap them onto you. And then like, it's nowhere near as good fitting as this. Like I can't even describe, it's like rubbish compared to this. But yeah, this is like a million times better. But what I'll do is I'm going to take the top bit out. So that's the socket. What I've got is I've got a lining that comes out. And yeah, it's quite difficult to get out. So that goes actually onto my leg first. And then that goes into there. But we've also got those other two lining socks. So what we do is, I might as well put them on now when we're doing it. And we can put it on together then. This one is made out of like silicone. It's like super like sticky. It's like and it's fantastic if you're gathering all the dirt and dust in your house. You find that on the end of it all the time. Stump warning for those who are sensitive. Look away now because I'm just about to put it on. There's nothing really to see, but just in case you don't like the look of a leg that doesn't have a leg attached to the end of the leg. But I don't know. It's a weird one. I do remember the first time I actually looked at my leg like without any like dressings on or anything, and like saw like it was my leg, which I think was like about 10 days after the operation, I want to say. My surgeon like they redid my dressing and stuff before I went home and things, and there was like a massive blood blister that was like basically the entire bottom of the stump there. So it's in its little silicone case now, so we've got to put this on. It's kind of awkward to put on, I will say, and it does have disadvantages. When it gets sweaty from doing sport and stuff, it gets very slippy in here, and it starts to fill up with sweat. Because it's completely waterproof, the sweat's got nowhere to go, which can get pretty grim, as you can imagine. But not only that, from a safety point of view, it gets really slippy, so I start slipping around inside it. I found when I was doing the bouncing around in the jumping place, I got so sweaty again, my leg was starting to slip around and turn. So instead of like facing where your foot's facing forward, you're jumping, and then your foot slipped like that way. Or that way, or not too much further than that, because it can't turn all the way around, but it's still not a great situation to be in, as you can imagine. So over on top of that one, we've got this like Terry's toweling, very simple. This is a very simple setup, and as I'm really early into my prosthetic journey, this is my first leg that's been made for me. So you know, we're working on leg number 2 at the moment, but yeah, this is you know, I've put it through quite a lot. At 8 o'clock tonight, if you're watching this video, I should be finished by then, but yeah, 8 o'clock tonight, I've got premiering. I've got a really exciting video of me skating, wearing my leg, and we're doing some 10 easiest braille skateboarding beginner tricks. So if you're interested in finding out what I look like doing that, head over onto that. But yeah, that'll be premiering at 8 o'clock, so do please feel free to check that out. It was really good fun doing that video, and then I was editing it. I forgot how many, you know, tricks are actually, or tricks, but like, you know, sort of skills, you know, because a lot of people would say they're not real tricks, but like I actually forgot that I did actually sort of vaguely land a shove. It was really hard. I'll explain why things are so hard to skateboard with my leg in just a minute, but we'll just finish putting the end on like so. I've got my 1.5 leg trousers on just because it's easier. We can put it up the leg like that, and then you haven't got to see anything you shouldn't see or don't need to see, and I've not got to run off and hide anywhere either. So this looks really awkward, but we're almost there. Oh, it's got stuck on the inside. That's what's happened. It's got stuck on itself. So here we are. Last little bit. No. Yes. No. I don't actually know what's happening here. Oh, there we are. I got it. All right. So put that back where it is. So we'll put that on in a minute. Before we get to that bit, let's talk about the next part of the prosthetic leg. That's the knee. So that's the bit I was telling you about a minute ago. So this is quite interesting. It's operated by the swinging of my leg. So what happens is, it's on your leg, you basically swing and kick forwards, plant your heel down in front of you, and then I'll bring this up in a second so you can see, but as you take the step forward, and as you put the weight onto the ball of your toes to step away for the next one, it starts to, as you start to do that, it bends and comes up. So what happens is, so you take your step, and then it bends like that, and as it bends, you then step off it, but you actually like flick it. As you get better and better, the flicking becomes less obvious. When I first had it, I was like flicking like crazy, because I was just, if just too scared of landing on it if it wasn't straight, because you want that leg to be 100% straight before you put that weight down. Because you put that weight down on it and there's a slight bit of bend in that, what will happen is that. And then what happens then is you go plummeting straight to the ground, usually on the skateboard, like flat on your face. It's a very, very unpleasant dispatching of yourself from the skateboard, which is really not a good way to go about it. I don't recommend that. So, but yeah, it happens. So like, especially in the video you're going to see if you watch tonight, I especially in the bails and fails section, just go straight to that. Even if you don't want to watch the rest of the videos, watch my bails and fails. I actually cringed slightly while watching them because I fell over like a zillion times and in so many unpleasant ways as well. It's just like, God, how do I keep doing this? And how do I keep getting back up again and trying again? Good question. So, yeah, we've got the knee. So that's the big problem, or the plus or the whatever you... It's not really a plus, but that's the huge disadvantage with this type of knee. And unfortunately, at the moment, we are a little bit stuck because we don't know whether Amputee Adele is going to be getting... At the moment, it doesn't look likely at the moment, but that could change. I am very sort of forced to the fierce constraints of the NHS is finance, or therefore the lack of, and they've got quite strict rules about the usage of the legs and how much you're able to use them for and for how long and for a certain period of time before you can get. And that also depends again on what your level of... And it's such a shame because when I use this leg, like for the few hours I use it like a very high level. But unfortunately it's not consistent enough at the moment, so that is a problem. But and again, like, excuse the pun, I am finding my feet in all of this. I would have liked, you know, a different type of knee, because they mentioned about one that you could actually hold in that position, like to crouch, and it would hold the weight like that. But alas, they say I've got to wait a year at least, but be able to demonstrate using it on average 8 hours a day, which is it's not happening at the moment. But I don't care. It's not the first time I've been told something, I can't have something, that something wouldn't happen. I was told about, I want to say about 9 years ago. I was told about 9 years ago that no one would ever amputate my leg, that I would never get my amputation, and I'd have to live with my CRPS leg forever. And look at me now, 2023, 3 years of adaptive skateboarding as a crutch skateboarder under my belt, landing kick flips, landed in my nollie impossible, obviously ollies, nollies, heel flips are coming along, we've got big spins, all sorts of crazy stuff like the curb tricks, and just having a really, really good time, drop-ins. And who would have thought all this possible, you know, with my crutch skateboarding. So the leg, as you see, I've got a few videos on now of me using my leg. What I can use my leg for as a very specific thing, and at the moment I'm still working it out, but I feel that this leg is absolutely perfect for things where you don't really need to move your feet around that much. And there's two very specific, well, 2, 3-ish, depending on what you're looking at, but 2, 3-ish type of very specific things I think that will be perfect for this leg. The first type of skating is slappy skating, so slappy curb skating. I'm already learning slappies and have an absolutely fantastic time, because I'm finding it very hard at the moment to ollie because of that not being able to bend down to get the power. Also, the problem is when you are a through-knee amputee is it puts your knees at different heights. So whereas my knee on this leg is here, because the knee has to go on the end of the leg, it has to go further down. So as a result, when it's on me, it actually sticks like further out. That does affect things on a biomechanical level, like when you're crouching down, one leg is like slightly forward more from the other. So it does have a massive impact. I, however, don't care, because I'm determined I'm going to prove all this wrong and find a way to do these things. I have been experimenting with ways of loading the weight carefully onto the leg with it bent, and using pressure to sort of force it, and having a fairly good amount of success with that. So I think it would be really awesome to try snowboarding with this leg. That's something I really want to do. There's an indoor snowboarding place a couple of hours away from us, about an hour and a half away. So I'm going to have a go there sometime, I hope. I think you've got to have lessons and stuff, whatever. I'm not sure, but, you know, I'd really like to have a go. See what it's like, because I've not been snowboarding for a long time. Like 10 years? 9, 10 years at least. No, over that time. I can't think. It's been more like 12, or 13 years probably. 13 years, yeah, I'd say about 13, yeah, 13 years, because like, yeah, so 13 years since I've been snowboarding. Kind of crazy, really. I looked up time we're on the live stream. We're on 20 minutes. I don't know if there's anybody got any questions out there. Anybody wants to ask me any specific questions about my leg, my prosthetic, don't be shy. Come and ask them to me. This is weird how it echoes if you do it like that. I just look weird talking into a prosthetic leg, but there we go. So anyway, we were doing a tour of the leg, the anatomy of my prosthetic leg. So let's move on down past the knee to our next spot. Oh, I haven't finished telling you the other type of skating I thought this leg would be good for. And I'm going to stop talking down the leg now, because that's just weird. I also thought this skate would be really good for like transition skating, like skate park and stuff, especially like maybe mini ramp specifically, because you can just skate like back and forth and pump and stuff. Once I've got the dropping in thing figured out, some things are easier with like 2 legs and some things are harder with 2 legs. Some things are like, I've been so used to skating with like my leg and a crutch for 3 years, that like you'd think that this it's been over 12 years since I could walk properly or walk at all, really. So like, you know, I've literally had to learn to walk again, and like skating is just like, I wasn't very good at skating before, so I've got much to like really pick up the pieces on. But I've been testing myself recently at a pump track, so I'm looking forward to doing some shameful that you can't have the knee that you want for some, then hopefully you end up getting it. Thank you very much to Vinny to the K. Yeah, thanks very much. I'm sorry that you've got to go and take a nap, but yeah, go and have a rest. It's really nice to see somebody in the chat there, very, very sick. Yeah, who knows? Like I said, the knee thing, we will see what happens, but I've never let it stop me before. I'm not certainly not going to let it stop me now. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by and type a little message into the chat there. So but yeah, skating with a leg is a very interesting experience. To me, it feels more crazy skating with a leg than it does with crutches, but that's because I don't know, it just I guess was what I'm used to. But yeah, thank you very much, Vinny to the K. Take it easy, have a good nap, and thank you for stopping by the live stream. My 4th Ampuversary. Considering we're meant to be celebrating, we're not doing much celebrating here. I've got the party lights going. Boom, 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 boom. We can't put in music because it'd be copyrighted anyway. So let's just have a banging party. I haven't done much breakdancing recently, unfortunately, since my shoulder's been like hurt again. I'm really disappointed because my shoulder. Oh, I'm really getting into the breakdancing, man. Really getting into that. But anyway, anatomy of a leg. This bit is like my shin, so that's what's left of my shin. I've customised it with a nice little Thrasher sticker there. And then we have the foot. So I've actually got a Velcro sticker. Velcro sticker? It's not a Velcro sticker at all. It's a Velcro shoe. It's my Carl Walker. Vans Carl Walker. I love these shoes, by the way. So this is the foot. It's kind of weird. Putting a shoe on and off is like a really weird experience as well, because like it doesn't really bend much. I'll show you in a second. It's got like a little bit of flex. There's like a bit of movement in the ankle, but not really that much. So like I put it on the floor. I don't know if you can kind of see, but it kind of moves like a little bit, but it hasn't got much movement in the ankle there. It's weird. There's a bit more like the lateral movement. So if you were standing there, it enables to move like that to there, more so than backward and forwards, but there's a little bit of room to play there. Okay, of course, no problem. Been subscribed for a little while now, and you're awesome. Thank you very much, Vinny to the K. Enjoy your stream. Quick question: would one of those curved running prosthetic work for skating? That's a very good question, actually. If you mean like the running blade, I've seen there's a really cool guy, he's a German guy, and he skates for Tomcat skateboard, so they're in Germany, and he skates. I've seen he's a below knee, but he has like the foot like starts at the shin, and it actually kind of curves around and then goes in, so it acts like how a running blade does, but it's not as long as a running blade, so it's like a blade foot almost. I've seen them use them for kids as well. Something like that would be really probably quite good, because it would allow you to store the energy, I suppose, so that you can actually spring back, because that's something that's really hard. I've got no muscle in that lower part of the leg to boing back with, and if you need to boing, you need boinging energy. That's why trampoline parks are awesome, because it's boing for free. No, it was still really hard work. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah. They tend to use them a lot for like for sports. I've seen a lot of kids use them. I think if I'd had it like when I was like a kid, they probably would be more likely to go and say that. I think oh yeah, yeah. But because I'm 36, I'm past it now. I'm over the hill. No, I'm not. I don't think these things, but just like yeah, if you're not a young person and you're not a kid, I don't think they spend like because I think prosthetic stuff. Don't think I know prosthetic stuff is expensive. Um, yeah, but it's no. Thank you very much, Vinny to the K, for asking. Yeah, it's a very very good question because this is something I'd hoping I'll be able to have a chat with my my prosthetics team at some point about when I go next week. Actually, I might have a chat with them because I want to ask them about different liners because of the sweater issue and stuff like that, and just to ask them if there's any other sort of potentials or thoughts with that one. Same with the foot as well because you can get different feet, so it might be there's a foot that's a little bit better adapted or suited that's got a bit more spring to it. So I don't know. It's just definitely something we're going to have to research for sure. But like, thank you. I really, really appreciate knowing you've been watching all this time and subscribing and stuff. That's subscribing if you only subscribe once. But thank you. I really do appreciate that because it's nice to know that somebody's out there watching and all the rest of it watching. But no, it's a very niche sport that I take part in. I suppose really the weird world of adaptive skateboarding. And I guess that's also another reason why probably not too many people find their way down to this channel because it's I'm not a big channel, but at the end of the day I don't do YouTube to be a big YouTuber. Well, it'd be kind of cool, but that comes with pressures that I don't know I could cope with. But if nothing else, I just enjoy documenting my progress, and people like yourself, Vinny to the K, dropping by and popping a positive message really does make me feel a lot better, especially when I'm feeling a bit down on myself and the rest of it. But no, it's really nice to know that what I'm doing, that's getting out into the world and someone appreciates it. I really do, appreciate anybody who watches my vids, even just one of them. If you watch one vid and just tell somebody else you saw a crazy idiot. Anyway, I saw a girl and I went to jump in and I said, will you tell your friends that you saw a weird lady with one leg at the jumping place? And she said, you're not weird. I said, that's all right then. I thought, that's not what everyone else says, but I'll tell them you told me that I'm not weird. So, yeah, different feet for prosthetic legs. You can for sure get different feet as well as different knees. The socket material, again, I think is like different and stuff, but because it's been almost a year since they cast the original one now, I think it probably might have changed shape slightly, be it I've gained a bit more muscle around the bottom area, but they think because I've been using it now, that those nerves may have been desensitized a little bit so that we can actually drop it down a bit. Oh, thank you very much. Keep up the hard work and progression. Also, I could see a lot of people being interested in your channel and how you learn tricks. Well, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I need to learn to present my videos in a way that's more, what's the word, concise. I do tend to get a bit rambly off on one, and then I think, oh goodness, I've recorded like 20 million minutes of video. How am I going to fit this into like a video? Other people's channels, I've noticed they're very good at being more like concise, to the point, and also it probably helps if you've got someone else to like film stuff for you and things like that. But it is or it isn't, whatever. I need what Jason Park's got, and that he's got like one of those drone things that chases and follows you. I have it around here. It probably wouldn't really work because it probably just fly into the trees all the time. But that's my other option. It's either that or train Winnie the Whippet, who's not with me at the moment. She's sleeping next door. I could train Winnie the Whippet to like I could put like a GoPro on her and she could like run along behind me as I'm doing my lines, and she'd be like chasing me, and like get a fitter with like a VX 1000. Yeah, get her in there. Get in there with the fisheye or whatever the wide angle lens. Yeah, Winnie will be my filmer. Winnie will film for me, but no. It's been really fun hanging with everybody. Anybody who watches this in the future, yeah, anybody who watches this in the future, thank you so much for stopping by. 4 years as an amputee has gone by so quickly. I can't believe it. Yeah, as I said, 4 years ago today, I was lying in hospital bed, off my face, absolutely mashed on meds, like wasted, because I needed it. But yeah, I was absolutely off my face. But I just felt, so strange as it is, like the happiest person like in the entire hospital probably. because I just couldn't believe that the leg that had stopped me from doing so much for so long, that it was gone, you know. I think that in my very very opiated state, I managed to ring my other half and tell him, and you know, I was just like so pleased. I just couldn't believe it. Like, oh my god, they've done it, it's awesome, you know. And that sounds so crazy, but like, yeah, what I had before and what I was working with before, anyone who knows about CRPS or who has CRPS or knows someone with CRPS to know that it's not the most pleasant of conditions, and it's not a very well recognised condition either. So today is apparently International Disabled Persons Day, or Persons with Disabilities Day, or something like that. International Disabilities Day. So trying to do my little bit to raise the awareness for disability. Not so much, yeah, like that we're all disabled or whatever, but like so much as the sort of like the recreational side of being, and the leisure side of being, well, the lifestyle side of being a disabled person. How disabled people still want to have a life and function, and despite, you know, very obvious like severe physical disabilities, people can go on to live really, really fulfilled lives. I, for one, when my leg, not the amputation, but when my disability first happened, my chronic pain, CRPS, like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I thought I'd never ever be happy again. I thought I'd never be able to enjoy my life again. I thought, this is it, this is me now. Yeah, even before my amputation, I worked through that, and I managed to, through a process of like grieving for what you had and you lost, I managed to find a way. I found a wonderful, wonderful human being who I now call my other half, my soulmate, and my fiance. And one day we'll actually get married. We can afford it, or when we've found the money that doesn't need to be used on something else more crucial or important, like fixing cars and vans and things like that. But yeah, you know, one day we will actually tie the knot. But no, that wonderful human being, big shout out to that man. You know who you are. But yeah, like, he is my rock. And also another disabled person. It's quite interesting, as our disabilities are very different. But then, like, since I've had my leg, like, we joke about like limping and falling over and losing our balance the same way, and who's got the best or the worst stagger when we're going around the supermarket. So it's fun, you know. It's a completely different way to spend time with my other half, because like for the majority of our relationship, I've been in a wheelchair, so I've been looking up at him like that. I'm still looking up at him, but not from quite such a low height. So, you know, it's nice to know that, you know, you can have a good life. You know, I never thought that, because I thought if my leg couldn't work and I couldn't do the things I wanted to do, what was the point? You know, and that's a very sad place to be when you feel like that. You know, but you know, for better or worse, I came through it. I made it to the other side, and here we are, Amputee Adele, celebrating 4 years as an amputee. And 3 of those years, I've almost 3 years anyway, been doing YouTube as a crutch skateboarder. And then this year, you know, Tony, as I call him, joined my life for the first time. And yeah, learning to walk again, learning to skate again. It's just been such an incredible journey. I can't say that it's been easy. It's been exhausting, emotionally, physically, everything. But you know what? I'm glad I'm where I am at, and I'm glad I've made it to this point. You know, and I look forward to seeing what the rest of this year and 2024 brings. Because you know, whatever happens with the leg, I'm still going to be skating, crutches or not. My shoulder might be misbehaving, but you know, we're going to get that fixed. We're going to get that sorted, and hopefully, thanks to the fact that I've got a leg now, it will give me the time, if I do have to have any surgery in the future on my shoulder, which they're saying I might have to. If I do have to, then I can actually use my leg as a bit of a recovery tool, so I'm not having to push my wheelchair all the time, and give the shoulder an actual chance to recover. So yeah. We're just coming up 34, almost 35 minutes, so I'll just do a couple more minutes of me yabbering on. I don't know if there's anyone else who wants to fire any questions out into the ether, anything that you've missed or that you're interested in knowing. As I said, Winnie's not with me in the room at the moment, unfortunately. Otherwise, you could all ooh and ah Winnie for a few minutes, and then, but yeah. I could actually carry on putting my leg on. That's probably something we could do just for the last bit. So what I'll do, that's the foot. Now I'll fight the sock back on again. There we go. And it's quite funny because you don't really have to change the sock that often because it doesn't get sweaty because you don't get a sweaty foot. So that's like super weird. Super weird. Ugh. This is really, really hard because it's like really badly balanced as well. Although it's easier to do it with the leg off than the leg on. So secretly why I bought Kyle Walkers, because it's like the best of like both worlds when it comes to slip-ons and like you've got steady up slip-ons, but with the tightness of Velcro. So I'm going to carry on putting this on because I'll do a quick demonstration for you guys how we actually put it on, which is pretty straightforward considering, really. And then after that, I'm going to be taking out my Winnie dog anyway. So it just makes sense to have the leg on ready. My shoulder after going trampolining yesterday was such a good time, but last night was agony. I really was in so much pain. Winnie to the K, I'd be sure to buy a lot of the same socks, so when you change the one you can't match it with another the same. Yeah, exactly, yeah. No, that's definitely worth knowing. That's definitely worth doing. yeah, I know what you meant. But yeah, there you go. Shoes going on. Look at that. I feel like I'm like 2 years old again. Velcro. Put that on to the end. Another thing is also regarding the sock, because I used to wear like my long, like whatever sock I was wearing on my other leg on that foot at the same time. But then it was sort of baggy and weird and just looked strange because there's no like leg for them to grip onto. So my mum she bought a load of like trainer socks. She gave them those like low ones to me, and I've been wearing those with them ever since. And I just think they look a lot smarter. I prefer the black ones if I've got a choice, but yeah, they work pretty well. To be fair, it doesn't. I can't get my thing done up. There you go. So we're velcroed up. We have a shoe on the end of the leg. This lever here operates a wire down the back of the leg, which is under all that tape because it keeps getting bent. And that basically connects to the lower leg. And that now, once I press that lever down, the leg is now locked. This just makes it easier when you're taking it on and off. Or perhaps I'm going along and there's some uneven ground, or it's like icy, slippy, whatever and you're a bit uncertain or something like that, or you're coming down steps perhaps, or you're up a slope, you can lock that leg up for extra safety. And that's a good thing to do. It's actually quite good when you're skating as well, actually, especially if you're not sure whether you can handle the idea of falling on your face unpredictably. Because sometimes, especially when you're tired, it's just easy to lock the leg and know it's locked. But yeah, so I put the leg into lock mode while I am putting it on. Fun fact, putting a leg on is called donning your leg, or your prosthetic leg. And taking a prosthetic taking a prosthetic leg off is called doffing your leg. So that's a fun fact for you. There we are. So we'll put that up like so. This is the bit I've just got to get the angle right on because I haven't really got much to go by. You just sort of like visually think it like that. Probably would have helped if I was wearing like shorts rather than like Carhartt work trousers because they haven't got much thingy in them. So I can get in all the way there, so it doesn't matter because you guys can see what it looks like then for the process of the video. And then I line those lines up like so. So that is now in. There you go. So that's now taking the weight. It's actually quite nice because you can see without seeing my bits or anything personal, you can see why that could be uncomfortable if you landed wrong, because it does go into a very, very personal and private area. So now that I'm in, I can press that lever down and my leg is now swingable. So if I come back a little bit for you guys, what happens is I swing. So as I swing, put the heel down, take the step forward, plant, and as I push through the toes, that's what makes the knee bend. So if I come back to here, you might be able to see that. Sorry, I haven't really got much room in this room. Room in the room. I'll put the camera back over here. There we are. You should just be able to see it. There we are. So take the step forward, so we go like that. So what happens then is, as I go like that, I put the weight onto the toes, the knee bends, and then I flick the foot out. So as you flick it forward, it makes the leg straight. You kick it out and you plant your heel to the ground. And as soon as your heel hits that ground, you know that leg's straight. I'm meant to have a bit of a wonk here. I think it's because my trousers are having dramas here. Trouser to prosthetic interface issues, as we call it. That's what I call it anyway. So yeah, you take a step forward, heel plant, and then as I go through to the toe part of the step, and put that weight onto there. That will make that leg bend. And then you can then flick it to take the next step. So if I turn around, you might be able to see it better this way. So if I go like that, toe goes like that, it bends, flick, step, step. So when you're doing it like normally, like say I'm just like walking like that, it looks like a very smooth, natural movement. You won't believe how many months and months it took to learn how to do that. I can promise you, months. But there we are. That is what happens when you learn to walk again, which is something I never thought I'd get the joy of. So I am just going to move the light actually. Over there. I am just grateful to be able to even do it at all. So thank you very much to the wonderful people of the NHS, the Birmingham Royal Orthopaedic in the UK, who made my dreams true. They didn't give me a leg, but my prosthetics team did. And yeah, my life has been very different the last 12 months. So there we go. We've been going 41 minutes, I think, which is long enough for you guys. I think I've punished you long enough for now. And I am starting to lose the energy to go outside and walk my dog. It's the winter in the UK now, so it's dark, it's cold, it's wet. So I'm going to have to get all the wet gear out. The dog's not going to be keen to go out, but then she's going to need to go, because if she doesn't go, she won't do her business. She won't do her business in the garden. So, my name's Amputee Adele. Amputee Adele. I'm trying to do like an A. There we are. I'm a 36-year-old amputee, relearning to skateboard, sometimes with 2 crutches and 1 leg, sometimes with 2 legs, 1 real one and 1 not so real. And today I've been doing my 4th Ampuversary celebration live stream. It's been so nice to see some faces there in the live stream and obviously in the chat as well. Thank you very much, Vinny to the K. Peace out, fam, with a nice stream there. Yep, we love you. We love you very much. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do thoroughly appreciate it. Sorry I've got itchy nose. This is the problem. Live stream dramas, eh? If you get an itchy nose, you've got to go like that, because if you start picking it in, scratching it in public on live stream, I'm sure people probably think that's really weird. But anyway, so I'm going to go and take my Winnie Whippet out now. Thank you so much to everybody who's been watching, and to anybody in the future who watches this video. If you've been watching any of my videos, if you've liked any of my videos, if you subscribed to my content, any of those, I love you just for supporting my channel. So thank you very much. We're almost at 300 subs now. We're at 295. So if there's anybody listening to this who hasn't subscribed, 5 more subscribers to make it to 300, and I can do my 300 subscribers giveaway, which I'm very excited about. We want to get there before the end of the year, guys. Come on, we can do it before the end of the year easily. Surely we could do it before the end of the month, perhaps, because we've got like 4 days left in November. So come on. Let's see if we can get those 5 more subscribers, make it to 300, make my dreams come true. I've got some fantastic prizes in the giveaway, so there's going to be 3 lots of prizes. More details to come on that one, but yeah, my name's Amputee Adele. I have been live streaming with you guys. Thank you so much for watching and joining me as I've been taking you as my anatomy of a prosthetic leg. Yeah, because you know, if you don't know anyone with a leg, because I know I certainly don't before this, so it, you know, I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys how it worked and all the rest of it. Some of the challenges that come with skateboarding with a prosthetic leg like mine, and some of the things that are good about it as well. So, you know, for everything, you know, mobility stuff, there's pluses and minuses. There isn't everything, but you know, everything in disability, like mobility, like wheelchairs, prosthetic stuff like that, the advantage of one thing is a disadvantage in another way, and every piece of equipment is very what's the word, task specific. So you quite often, if you're a wheelchair user and you take part in sports, you might have a tennis wheelchair, and then if you do like wheelchair motocross WCMX, you have a WCMX chair, and then you have your everyday recreational chair, or you might have your tennis chair. So these are all very, very different things. If you take part in rugby, that's another type of chair altogether. You might be a wheelchair racer, so you need a racing wheelchair. These are all different things, and they all come at a massive cost. So, you know, I'm really grateful to be able to take part in a sport like skateboarding, where I don't inherently have to spend nearly as much money, especially like if I couldn't skate and I was still in my wheelchair. I wanted to get a WCMX chair more than anything, but £5,000-6,000 was just not something I had or have. So you know, it's nice to know that skateboarding's got my back, because I know people complain about things costing money or whatever, but skiing, in the scheme of it, it's actually quite a cheap sport. It's quite easy to participate. Don't know, there was a wheelchair. Yes, wheelchair rugby. It's called Murder Ball. Definitely check it out. The wheelchairs have actually got reinforced, like where the rims are. The spokes have got like metal and like rubber like covering them, so they don't get smashed, because you can literally just go straight into each other. And some of the chairs have got like a lift bit under them, so they actually go under there, and like the purpose is to like push the chairs over. Murder Ball, literally that's what they call it. Like colloquially, it's not called the game of Murder Ball, but yeah, wheelchair rugby is known as Murder Ball. I've had a go at it, like training back when I still had my leg. It was a club a few hours away from where I was. It was a really good game. It's just such a shame that I couldn't actually take part in the sport itself, because at the time I had my leg, and they were like, it's too much risk, because I couldn't get my leg into the chair properly because my leg was stuck in this stupid position. But yeah, it's meant to be one of the most like violent games in existence, and like Murder Ball, like participants, like the wheelchair rugby people are just. It is a very rough game, but like it's an awesome game as well. So it's so cool that they've managed to adapt so many sports for us disabled folks as well. So it's nice to know, because I know all those years ago I didn't ever think that I was going to be sitting here with a prosthetic leg. I don't think I was ever going to be disabled. Why would I? I was actually going to be a nurse. That's what I was doing. I was doing my nursing training. So this is a completely different, obviously, lifestyle to the one that I had planned, but I can say, despite best laid plans, despite things not going how I thought to start with, there are silver linings, and look for that silver lining. It's sometimes not easy to find it, but they're there. They are there. And with that said, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys in some of my future videos, and look forward to being able to update you on the 300 subs, which is coming very, 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 very soon. And then the next challenge will be 500 subs, and I can't wait to get there too. But yeah, I'm going to go out and walk the dog. So thank you very much, everybody. Peace, one love. I've got this, you've got this, and until next time, 2 crutches, 1 leg, maximum effort. See you guys. Ta-ra! I've got to work out how to stop the blinking live stream now. How do you stop it? Huh? Yeah. Okay, that went on for a million years.